What's going on, SahariCandela.com. My name is Frank Fernandez, a.k.a. Frank the Tank 305, and I'm going to come each and every week here on SahariCandela.com. I'm giving you a little sports show. Coming to you here from the SoFlo Radio Studios in Hollywood, Florida. You can go ahead and find me also on SoFloRadio.com, as I have a weekly show here Wednesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll go ahead and get in more detail what I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to give you a little recap of what's going on in the week. I mean, football finally started, but can we finally talk about football? Because it seems like we're never going to be talking about football. Football right now in a big mess. They're in a domestic dispute. And now they're in a child abuse dispute. Two headlines that you don't want to see your sports wrapped around in, but unfortunately they are wrapped around them. Like I said, my name is Frank Fernandez, a.k.a. Frank the Tank 305. You can hit me up on Twitter at Frank the Tank 305. But you know what? I don't even want to mess with that, because I'm sure that everybody's already had enough with all the talk. I mean, Ray Rice has taken over the news for about 2 weeks now, and Adrian Peterson now has been taking over the news. We know his child died last year. Now he has another issue with another child. We've seen the pictures. It's bad. But if you want to hear more in detail of what I think about that, you can tune in on Wednesday to my shows. But I want to talk about Mayweather, and Mayweather's fights are a freaking joke. Okay, if you guys think that Mayweather is one of the best boxers in the history of boxing, you guys have to get yourself checked out, like straight up. Because to be honest with you, I think Mayweather's a pussy. Fights like a pussy. All he does is run the whole damn time. I mean, if anybody with a decent size, with a decent build, finds him in an alley somewhere, I'm sure you can beat the shit out of him. I mean, he's not all that. What does he do the whole entire match? He runs, backs himself into the ropes. Then you can go ahead and get a couple combos on him. He ends up hugging you out of it. And then he gets out of the trouble. Sticks a couple jabs here and there. Doesn't do much damage to you. He just gets his points. He gets his punches in. And the percentages are great because he doesn't throw many of those punches. But when was the last time that you saw a Mayweather fight and you saw the other guy, his opponent, get cut up? Because who did he fight this time? Maidana? Maidana was chinky-eyed. But it's not because Mayweather beat on him. It's because he's a chino. Un boludo, un chino. I'm not going to sit here, by no means necessary. Am I going to say that Maidana deserved to win that fight? Because he didn't deserve to win that fight. Did he deserve to win the first one? Yes. But do you think boxing is ever going to let Mayweather actually lose? Because I don't. It's to boxing's best interest to keep this guy undefeated. And that's why he's going to be fighting all the cupcakes all the time. I mean, I can put myself on a difficulty on a video game and beat the crap out of the computer every single time. But when it comes to actually play somebody, I'm not going to want to play that person because I know that person's going to beat me because I'm not as good as advertised. And Mayweather's not as good as advertised. So he backs himself into the ropes against Maidana. The referee ends up helping him out by, by separating him quicker than what he's actually supposed to. I mean, if you guys don't know boxing, if there's an arm loose in boxing, there's no breakup. They keep going until both arms are covered. Mayweather goes ahead and picks both arms from underneath, so you can't throw any punches. So I don't see that as a great fighter. Okay, he's undefeated. How many of those undefeateds does he actually knock somebody on their ass? Because I can't tell you the last time Mayweather knocked somebody on his ass. Maybe because they tripped over their own feet, but not because of Mayweather punch. Mayweather doesn't have that power. He has the quickness, but he doesn't have the power. Now, what I'm going to say right now, you're going to find it a little absurd because you're going to say, Frank, come on, some are heavyweights and others aren't. Now, Mayweather's not a heavyweight, but if you put him in a ring against Tyson, against Foreman, against Holyfield, against Joe Louis, against Muhammad Ali, put the weight class aside. Pure skill. You're going to tell me that Mayweather can beat any of those guys? Because I'm going to sit here and say that you're crazy. Because there's no way that Mayweather can beat any of those guys. Absolutely not. The skill set isn't there. The skill set isn't there. He's not a fighter. I would love to go back on YouTube and watch his first 10 fights of his career to see if he had the same exact style going on, because this Mayweather style is not the best style. It's not any style. That's why I'm saying that anybody with a decent build can find Mayweather in a back alley and probably beat the crap out of him. If you can catch him, you will get him. Because that's what he has. He has speed. He knows how to dodge you. But that's about it. So anybody that's going to tell me that Mayweather's one of the best boxers in history, he's not. He has not wanted to fight Pacquiao. He's tiptoeing around that one, and he never will fight Pacquiao because Mayweather's biggest enemy is his loss. There's a lot of boxers that you say, oh, they lost, they're going to bounce back. Could be true. But Mayweather, once he loses, his career's done. That money Mayweather aroma that he's got going around him is over. It's non-existent after that. But anyways, like I said, I think he's the biggest pussy because he's not a fighter. Now it might be too late to put Pacquiao in there. Now Mayweather might be able to find Pacquiao. But I'm to believe that Pacquiao could give Mayweather a hell of a fight. That's the thing too. Boxing is so fixed that even if Pacquiao does beat Mayweather, who's to say that those judges are going to award Pacquiao the fight? Because there's been a couple fights that Mayweather's looks like maybe he may lose. And they give it to the other man. Even against Cotto, I believe that Cotto went. Once you see the score sheets, once you see the scorecards, then you may think otherwise. But it's all those little jabs that he gives. He doesn't give power punches. He just hits. He gives punches just to draw contact, just to draw a little bit of a fight there. Like I said, I'm just gonna recap you guys on sports. That's gonna be I'm gonna have one rant every week, and that's my rant of the week. Mayweather's a pussy. Whatever. You guys can hit me up on Twitter. Tell me otherwise. Or you can go ahead and leave a comment on the bottom of the YouTube or on the bottom of SahariCandela.com. And I'll come back next week. And I'll go ahead and pick those best ones out. And I'll go ahead and answer them. By no means. No worries. No worries. So running through week 2 of the NFL scoreboard. We're running through these scores as we get ready for week 3. Ravens topple the Steelers 26-6. Dolphins don't show up to Buffalo as they lose 29-10. Redskins all over the Jaguars, 41-10 as RG3 got hurt in that one and Kirk Cousins had to come in. And very impressive, I must say. Very impressive for Cousins. The Cowboys win 26-10. They might have the worst defense in history. Their defense decided to show up and shut down the Titans, which Titans team that put up about 28 points on their opponent last week. Cardinals go into New York and beat up on a bad Giants team 25-14. Patriots all over the Vikings 30-7. Saints lose late to the Browns 26-24, probably the biggest upset of the week. The Bengals all over the Falcons 24-10. Panthers 24-7 over the Lions. The Bucks lose by a safety to the Rams 19-17. Chargers they beat that was another upset of the week. Chargers beat up on the Seahawks 30-21 as they actually went after Richard Sherman on that one. Texans 2-0 as they beat the Raiders 30-14. Jets lose late as Aaron Rodgers and the Packers come back. Career day for Jordy Nelson. 31-24 Packers over the Jets. Broncos dodge a bullet over the Chiefs 24-17 on a late defensive stance. The Bears come back over the 49ers. At one point it was 17-0. At another point it was 20-7. Bears end up winning 28-20. 3 touchdown passes to Brandon Marshall. And the Colts lose late on coaching decisions to the Eagles as the Eagles also come back and are now 2-0 to the Colts 30-27. Over in baseball, a couple teams have magic numbers, but pretty much it looks Baltimore. All they need to do is win one, and they've clinched. Detroit has a couple games there to hold on. They only have a 1.5 game lead over the Kansas City Royals in the AL Central. In the AL West, the Angels can clinch with a win. Washington's magic numbers at 2. St. Louis's magic numbers at 10 as they have a 3.5 game lead on the Pittsburgh Pirates in the NL Central. Dodgers right now with a 4 game lead over the San Francisco Giants. Their magic numbers at 9. Over in the wild card, as my computer loads up, Oakland and Kansas City hold both wild card spots. Seattle's behind them by 2 games, followed by Toronto at 5, Cleveland at 6, Yankees at 6. In the NL, San Francisco, Pittsburgh hold the wild card spots right now. Milwaukee game and a half back. Atlanta 4.5 games back. Marlins 6 games back. Mets 8 games back. Once again, my name is Frank Fernandez. I'm going to be here each and every week. You can go ahead and check my show out at SoFloRadio.com. Once again, live here from the SoFlo Radio studios in Hollywood, Florida. I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. But you guys can go ahead and hit me up on Twitter whenever necessary, and I'll go ahead and answer any questions. Go ahead and follow me. I follow back. Very friendly with that. But thank you for making me a part of your day, and thank you for checking out SahariCandela.com.